Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome to my playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This playthrough has been a long time coming, a very long time coming. I know that a lot of people have been wanting me to do this game for a really long time, especially since the Majora's Mask playthrough. In fact, there have been a lot of people who said that it was blasphemous that I did Majora's Mask before this game. But honestly, there isn't really, that much of a connection between the two games. I mean, there is. There's a clear connection that Majora's Mask takes place right after this game. But I feel like you don't really need to know very much at all from this game to actually play Majora's Mask. So that's why I didn't really feel like doing the games in order was that necessary, at least in my opinion. But yeah, this is a fan-favorite game in every sense of the world. I know that pretty much every friend of mine from high school thinks that this is like the best game ever. Me, honestly, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's a great game. I think it's a game worthy of the praise that it gets. But I also think that it's kind of overrated in a sense as well. Not that I'm going to be bashing the game all the way through. Like I said, I think this is a really great game. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 on a review score, honestly. But, you know, I do like other Zelda games more than this. So, you know, I'm not going to be bashing the game by any means. But I'm not necessarily going to be, praising this game and saying it's the best ever. Or anything of that nature. Because there are some things that I do have a problem with this game. Which is why I do like games like Majora's Mask. Games like Link to the Past, games like Wind Waker, a little more than this one. So that'll definitely become apparent during the playthrough. This will also be a 100% playthrough, so I'm going to be playing through the entire game. Going to get all the items, get all the heart pieces, get all the Gold Skulltulas, get all the item upgrades, and pretty much anything that seems worthwhile to mention, I'll mention in some way. So that's pretty much how this playthrough is going to work. I'm going to name my character as I normally do. Oh, I thought I had to switch case, but no. The lowercase letters are also on here. I don't think I can actually put Kirby, so I'll just stick with Slim. I think that's what I normally go with in these Zelda playthroughs anyway. So yeah, we have Slim, Dude Man, and Sans. Dude Man, from my recollection, was actually the the Ocarina of Time race that I did with Mega Freak 400 on the CSS channel, and Sans was obviously a very recent playthrough, which was my practice playthrough for this game. But we're actually going to start a new file completely, so let's get started, guys. In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has its own or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces, even now, are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend, and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee.
Fatality.
Hello, Slim, wake up! The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Slim, get up! Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up! I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now. Okay, so here we go. Starting the gameplay for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The first area we have is Kokiri Forest. It's a nice little forest village town full of these children that also have fairies. Yahoo! Hi, Slim. Here we have Saria. Wow, a fairy. Finally, a fairy came to you, Slim. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Slim. Is that right? The Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. She's a really good friend of ours. She's nice. She's cute. She has green hair. She's the best. So yes, we need to go straight to the Great Deku Tree. We've been summoned. We have very important things we need to get done. So that's exactly what we're going to do, first of all. I believe you get some rupees if you jump on all those platforms correctly. There's also some other rupees we can collect, but I'll get them in a minute. But it seems like this guy seems to be wanting to block our path, though. Hey, you, Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. What? You've got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? What? You're right, I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. Okay, so I have to actually get equipped before we can talk to the Great Deku Tree. Which I think is really stupid. I mean, if the Forest Overlord is summoning you, I think that kind of is a little more important than just you know, doing the silly little fetch quest for a kid. It's kind of stupid to just hold me back and prevent me from doing anything. But alas, I do understand the video game logic behind it, where they want you to actually get some practice with the sword and shield, so you can actually be ready to fight enemies and stuff of that nature. But the first item we're going to pick up is the sword. You can find the sword in this little area right here. You can also find some more rupees too, so It's good that we came here. You also will need rupees to get the shield anyway, since you have to purchase it from the shop. And what do we have up here? We have a lovely big chest. Probably one of the most iconic scenes, Link getting a item from a treasure chest. And you got the Kokiri sword. On the equipment subscreen, select it with the cursor and equip it with A. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. I guess I should go over controls a little bit too. Well, first, if you hit the start button, you can see your start menu. You have 4 basic windows. You have the equipment window where you have your most important items, like the stuff that you can basically see on your character. Here you have just the other items. We'll be getting items throughout the game. We don't have any right now, obviously. We have the map, which doesn't really help that much. This is going to be more helpful in dungeons where you actually get to see the layout of the dungeon and all the rooms and stuff of that nature. And you have the quest status, which has like the key items, like items that aren't as necessary as like the sword and all of your clothes and stuff like that for combat, but it'll basically show your basic quest progression and all the different items you have. So this is a very good screen as well, just you won't be able to really do much with it right now at the very beginning of the game. And you can also save your game on this pause menu as well. But now that we have our sword, we can use the B button to actually use it. You can do a horizontal slash, you can do a vertical slash. If you use the Z button, you can actually kind of Z target. If there's like an enemy or an NPC nearby, you can pretty much home in on them. And you can do a few other moves as well. You can do a jump attack. I want to say you can do like kind of a stab. Yeah, you have a little stabbing motion too. That's basically how the sword works. It's pretty good. And the A button will be your general action command. So if like you're in front of something you can interact with, you can use that button and interact with that. So here you can crawl through the little cave to get back to the main area. C buttons will be used for items. You can also use the C up button to kind of look around in a first-person perspective mode. This will be in handy several times throughout the game. And let's see, the L button doesn't do anything yet. Oh, I know, the L button toggles the map. The R button we can't do anything with because we don't have a shield yet. And the Z button pretty much puts the camera behind Link. So if you want to change the direction of the camera, you just press the Z button and you will automatically do that, which is pretty simplistic but also pretty helpful. I honestly like when games do that. It just kind of allows you to like just take a minute to get things set up again. I think that's really, really nice. In here we have Mido's house. I believe we can take some rupees from in here, so we're going to do that. We're going to steal from that jerk who won't let us pass while he lets the tree frickin' die. Like the jerk that he is. I mean, seriously, I mean, obviously it makes sense to have a sword and shield, but I feel like it would make a little more sense if, like, the Great Deku Tree was like, you know, you are the hero, but you need to make sure that you're ready first. Go back to town and get this. Like, I feel like that'd be a... That seems like that'd be more sensible, but, I guess I can understand the logic for doing it this way, too. I could pretty much go ahead and go straight to the shop. You need 40 rupees, and I only need 1 more. And there are rupees inside the shop that you can get, but just to show you guys, you can also get these rupees over here as well. Whee! And now we're going to go straight to the shop. I believe we're going to use... Oh, we got another blue rupee. Yeah, this kid up here is teaching us about the Z targeting. So if there's ever an NPC or an object or enemy, you just use the Z button, you can home in on them. You can speak to NPCs from a distance. Yes, that's how you use a fairy. It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy. When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press Z to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing right now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z to look forward. Try it. Okay. So yeah, basically teaching you how to use the Z button. And if you go behind here, you can find some more rupees. Not that we needed them. Welcome! So let's go ahead and buy our shield. You can buy some other items too, but you can get them for free later anyway. You got the Deku Shield! Switch to the equipment subscreen and select the shield, press A to equip. Press R to crouch and defend. If you press R while Z targeting, you can move while defending. So yes, I do really like how they incorporated the shield in this fashion. Because if you remember, in Link to the Past, you just, like, had the shield equipped at all times. And, like, you just had to, like, face an enemy and not move, and then the projectiles would just bounce off the shield. While in this game, you actually have to retroactively use it, which I think is actually better, at least in my opinion. Also, frickin' ambulance outside, or fire truck or something. Not sure what that's about. So yeah, that's basically how you can use the shield. It's pretty cool. And I guess it didn't also show you can also do a spin attack as well. It's kind of useless right now, though, because it doesn't really have much distance. But it'll get better in time. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Eh? What's that? Oh, you have a Deku Shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief! Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the Great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? I hate you. Stupid Mido. He is such a... he's such a jerk. Okay, we have our first enemies here. We have Deku Babas. Here you can get our first item, which we have is the Deku Stick. Set it to C and swing it with C. When you want to put it away, stand still and press A. You can carry up to 10 sticks, but don't waste them. There are other purposes for the Deku Sticks. So they're just not like just basic items. You can actually use them for much more, as we'll be seeing later. But let's go ahead and see the Great Deku Tree. Great Deku Tree, I'm back! Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Slim, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Great Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Slim, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake thy task? Then enter, brave Slim, and thou too, Navi. Navi, the fairy, thou must aid Slim. And Slim, when Navi speaks, use the See Up button to listen well to her words of wisdom. Okay, here we go. We're going into the very first dungeon, which I think is really cool, how they get you right into the middle of a dungeon, like, immediately. I think that's great. I hate waiting, like, so long for the first dungeon. And here, like, it doesn't disappoint at all. You have, like, a dungeon right from the get-go, which is really cool. Okay, we have more Deku Babas. This one will give us a Deku Nut, which is another item we can use. Set it to C and try throwing it. It will flash and stun the enemy. So it's a decent item. I wouldn't really rely on them so much, but they can be used to stun enemies if they're kind of getting the best of you, and you can just kind of use that to just basically wreck them, honestly. Look at this wall. The vines growing on it give it a rough surface. Maybe you can climb it, Slim. Yeah, Navi's going to be giving us some tips. As you can see, that little C button icon in the top right. Look, Slim, you can see down below this web using See Up. So yeah, there's definitely more stuff going on here. We'll be exploring that very soon. But first, we're going to get a move on, because we have things to do. We have a tree to save. In a dungeon, you'll find, basically, in most dungeons, you'll find 4 big treasure chests. For the first dungeons, it'll only be 3, which has, like, all of the very important dungeon items. So first we have the dungeon map, where you can basically take a look at the map and see what the dungeon looks like, all the different rooms and stuff of that nature. And like it said, whenever there is a blue room, you've been in that room before. But rooms that aren't blue, obviously you still need to explore them. So we have some floors to explore before we go on. But now we're going to go over here. Oh, you can open up a door by standing in front of it and pressing A. Pay attention to what the action icon says. That's the blue icon at the top of the screen. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, Navi, that you can open doors. That's very, very nice of you. Damn it. Wow, it actually went back into the hole. That's annoying. There we go. Ow, ow, ow! Forgive me, Master. I'll give you a clue. Will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold the control stick forward, you will roll on the ground when you land, and you won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it will work, though, if the cliff is really, really high. Heh. Well, try it if you are feeling bold. Wahaha! Are you Wario? Wahaha! I guess that's more Waluigi, but you get it. You get it. Okay, so over here we have another big chest. This is going to be the dungeon item, which is basically a new item you can get in each dungeon that will be able to help you through the rest of the dungeon. Here we have the slingshot, or the fairy slingshot. Press C to take it out and hold it. As you hold C, you can aim with the control stick. Release C to unleash a Deku Seed. If you want to shoot right away, when you first press C, hold down C a little longer to get a seed ready. Which I should probably be equipping all the items I've been getting. I haven't exactly been doing that. Let's put Fairy Slingshot on the C down button. And we'll put these. And I guess we'll save the game. I guess we didn't need to. But we're going to basically use the Slingshot here to knock down this ladder. So we can actually get out of here. Is there anything else? Okay, no, I'm thinking of a different room. So yeah, we have our... It's not the bow. I mean, we'll definitely get the bow later on in the game, but it's our basic long-distance projectile item for right now, which is always nice. You can use it to get rid of these spiders that are on this sticky wall. These guys can be kind of annoying because if they catch you, they will turn purple and they will just like charge you and knock you off the ledge, which you do not want to happen. So we're going to try to avoid that at all costs. So now we're on the top of the Deku Tree. There's one more item we can collect before we want to move on. These items are completely optional aside from the dungeon items, so you don't have to get them. But I prefer getting them just to say that I've gotten everything. That's just the way I am. First off, we're going to go over here. Nothing really is important in this chest. It's just a recovery heart if you've taken damage. And here we have the first of many Gold Skulltulas. There are 100 you can collect in this game. Whenever you kill them, they release a token. We'll see exactly what these do later on, but there are 100 in the game, and I am going to be trying to get all 100 of them. I don't think they're really that hard to get, but there are some very, very obscure ones, which I do not like when they're, like, super obscure, and you have to just, like, bomb random holes in the ground to actually find them. But I'll get into those later. Let's do this again. I think I can just go ahead and jump straight over here. Yeah. Yeah, I can. Give me what's in that chest. And here's the other important dungeon item. We have the compass. Now you can see the locations of many hidden things in the dungeon. So if you look at the map, you can actually see... well, hold on, let me go back. There we go. You can actually look at the map and see that there are treasure chests you can collect. I missed something on the second floor. I don't think it's important, though. It might just be like Deku Sticks or Deku Nuts or something, so I'm not going to bother going back for that. But yeah, you have, you can see the location of the boss, you can see the location of the treasure chest that you can find. Compass is a very important item. I would definitely recommend finding it if you're new to the game, because you can kind of use that as an indicator to find out where things are if you're missing something. Especially when you get to the second half of the game, but I'll go over that later. So we're going to use the second primary use for Deku Sticks. You can light Deku Sticks on fire and light torches with them. You can also burn webs and stuff of that nature. But make sure that when you have a stick on fire, put the stick away. And all you have to do there is just stand still, wait for put away to appear on the action command, and then put it away. Because if you keep the stick lit for too long, it will burn and you will lose the stick, which is not something you want to do. So just avoid that at all costs.